You're probably here because you want to hit the ball further off the tee and increase your club head speed. Well, we're going to go over the 5 best power exercises, in my opinion at least, that will help you gain at least 5 to 10 more yards off the tee. The first drill that we're going to go through is a total body power exercise. We're going to be doing a dumbbell power clean. We're going to be holding them each in one hand closer up towards one end of the dumbbell, kind of like this, with our feet just underneath our hips, and we're going to be down in a deadlift position with the furthest end from our hands of the dumbbell touching the ground. Then we're going to stand up. As we're standing up, once the dumbbells get to just past our knees, we're going to extend our hips upwards. We're going to keep jumping, and then we're going to shrug at the same time, and then catch in a quarter squat position. When you're performing this drill, it's really important, especially from a side view, and when you're coming up, that you're standing and extending your hips all the way, and then you keep coming up through the drill. And then once you catch in this position here, that we stand up tall all the way first before we go back down for the next rep. One other big mistake that I see with this drill is that a lot of people just try to curl the weight up into the front rack position, but you don't want to forget about the shrug. So we're generating a lot of power through our legs from the ground, and we're going to jump, and that momentum is going to help bring that weight up into that position there. So the best way to do that is to keep going and shrug it up, and then bring the arms in. The next drill, if you can't tell, is going to require a med ball. We're going to be doing an overhead med ball slam. This is one of my absolute favorite exercises to develop upper body power for the golf swing. We're going to be starting with our hips about hip to shoulder width apart. We're going to have that medicine ball. We're just going to bring it up overhead, go up onto our tiptoes, and we're going to bring that down and slam it into the ground as hard as we can. As we're doing this, we're going to be pushing our butt back and letting our knees bend as well, and following that ball down into the ground. If you don't have a medicine ball, you can still perform something very similar to this with some bands. As shown in the video right now, you're going to have the bands attached to a higher level. We're going to be somewhat in a hinged position. We're going to grab those bands, keep our arms relatively straight, and bring them down to our side as hard as we possibly can, and then return back to that start position. The next drill is going to work on that vertical ground force production, which we know is so important in the golf swing. So we're just going to be jumping in place. We're not going to be moving forward, backwards, side to side, but we're going to be jumping as high as we possibly can. Ideally, to do this, we're going to start with our feet about hip to shoulder width apart. We're going to come down, make sure you bring your hands back behind you, and then when you get down into this position, don't spend a long time there. Our muscles and tendons have a natural rubber band elasticity to them. So if we spend too much time in this bottom position, we're going to lose that kind of ricochet force that they're going to generate. Also, as we're jumping, make sure you bring your arms up overhead. Using that momentum will be helpful in helping you generate more force. As we're going through this video, if you have any questions or comments or want different alternatives to these drills, just let me know in the comments section down below. And if you're finding value in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you want more videos just like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below as well. Next, we're going to work on a lower body rotational power drill. For this, you're going to need a set of bands that you can attach to a low attachment point. What we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of away from the attachment point, just so there's some tension on the band, and we're going to hold it with our lead side, or side that's furthest away from the attachment point. We're going to keep that by this trail hip, or the hip that's closest to the attachment point, and we're going to let that tension pull us back and load us like we would in the golf swing. So most of my weight on this lead side is on the ball of my foot, and then on this side is in the heel of my foot. And then from here, we're going to explode out, keeping this hand right at our hip, and then rotating just like we would in the golf swing. As you're performing this drill, and this is something that's new to you, you can go through the motions kind of slowly at first, just to get a feel of what it's like. But ultimately, you want to perform this as quickly and as fast as possible to get those fast twitch fibers working. For this drill, we're going to work on upper body explosive power, and what we're going to do is a plyometric push-up. When performing this drill, it's just like a regular push-up. We're going to set up in a standard push-up position. The only difference is that when we go down, we're going to explosively push the ground so that our hands leave it, just like we were jumping with our hands, and then landing back down into the push-up position and going right back into the next rep. Power is just one part of the puzzle when it comes to gaining more distance. Mobility and strength also play a role in maximizing your distance. And if you want to work on those, make sure you check these videos out.